Wanna jam with me for a minute?
I trust my higher self is guiding me, and the universe has a plan greater than mine. I release all negativity and blockages that prevent me
I
from
love it.
reaching my highest potential. Let's go. I'm no Homo sapien. I'm an alien traveling through space again, evolving my cranium like code activations coming through your speakers from the ether. I was born a rebel and a preacher. I conversate with higher realms and ascended teachers. Believer, my spirit is my leader. I'm a Libra, finding balance in a world full of evil. I'm lethal.
All right, I love this song so much. I'm just kicking of it. Music just sets the tone, doesn't it? That's why I start every class with a good tune. All right, well, we got to get started. All right, I know we don't have much time to waste. I could just jam all day long, but we're going to be cut off at 40 minutes. So let's get into it. I just want to say that I'm so happy you're here and you are exactly where you're supposed to be because you will get at least one thing today that will help you on your path. And that's all that you really need. So before we jump into the breath work stuff, I want to introduce myself. If you don't know me, my name is Vanessa Matthews, and I am a seeker and a teacher. Maybe you're a seeker too, and that's why you're here. For as long as I can remember, I've had a deep knowing that there is something more to life than what we see with our physical eyes. And that always kept me seeking more knowledge and more ways to grow. I have been teaching ever since I was an overweight teenager in Taekwondo class. Even though I was introverted and unsure of myself, somehow I found my way to the front of the room to teach the class to everyone else. And I've always taught whatever has helped me most, whether it was fitness or food prep. But what I'm teaching now about meditation and breath work, I feel like I will teach for the rest of my life. Now that I've arrived here, knowing what I know now, I don't feel like I'm seeking anything any longer. Instead, I feel like I'm steeping in something rather than seeking something. And from my experience, meditation and breath work are the highway to wholeness and healing. But I want to be very, very clear about something. What I'm teaching are the tools and the practices that will keep you on the right path. But ultimate wholeness and healing only really come when you merge the action of doing the practices with your inner spirituality. I don't want to scare you away because this looks so much different for everyone. All right. To some degree, though, at some point, you're going to have to release control over your routine or how healing happens or how fast. But miracles will happen in your life when you fully accept and love all parts of yourself and your life experience. When you release resistance and accept all things. Not whenever you've created enough cellular coherence or amplified your heart field enough, like we talked about last week, or if you can clear your thoughts for a certain number of minutes a day. That's not what creates the miracles in your life. What happens, how miracles happen, is when you can sit in stillness over and over again, releasing the fear and learning to trust that everything that has happened, is happening, and will happen is happening for you and for a reason. That takes a lot of trust. But by doing this, eventually you will start to gain an experience of yourself that is from the perception of love. And you can only know this by experiencing it. Hands down. Okay. But listen, rather than trying to keep seeking the thing that will help you, what I've learned is the importance of practicing, asking how this moment can help you. This is when we can really come to true inner peace, when this moment is all that we need. All right, now that was a massive tangent just to say don't get too caught up in doing all of these practices perfectly, okay? All right, and it really does take a lot of trust and a lot of self-love to trust the process. But this is the final point you have to understand, okay? The true growth feels like an increased awareness of obstacles. Now, when you know this and you can accept this, then you can start to get excited about obstacles in your life because you can see that that means progress is happening and that there is something so much greater waiting for you on the other side. Now, I want to take a moment, 30 seconds, to just check in with our breath. Okay, so if you can, find a comfortable seat. Hopefully, you're in one, and close your eyes. And just simply start to notice whether your breath is fast or slow. See if you can bring your attention to the rise and fall of your belly. And try to slow your breath down slightly. See if you notice a difference from that short exercise. And go ahead and open your eyes. I want to talk to you today about how your breath can extend your life. Did you know that the longest living animals have the slowest breath rate? Tortoise can live up to 100 years and it only breathes 4 times per minute on average. And whales can also live up to 100 years and they mostly breathe once every 10 to 15 minutes. Now, the fact is, your heart must beat faster when you breathe fast to supply your body with the increased oxygen demand from the breathing. Now, this also means that slower breathing equals a slower heart rate and less wear and tear on your body, which is why you live longer. Now, you may think that this has to do with inactivity in general, but that is not the case. This has everything to do with breathing efficiency. And I want to share an example from nature to prove it to you. Sloth, which has been known to be the slowest moving animal, lives only 20 to 30 years in the wild. And they have an average breathing rate of 45 to 75 breaths per minute, despite the fact that they move very slowly. All right, now you can learn to control and refine your breath and improve your breathing efficiency, which will lower your breathing rate and your heart rate. But I want to just encourage you to start slowly. Again, it doesn't matter that you get these things perfect, guys. What matters is that you love yourself enough to keep trying, to keep going, and that you trust in the process because any amount of conscious attention on your breath will improve your health and longevity. Hands down. End of story. All right, now I want to talk to you really quickly before we jump into the techniques about the body, mind, breath cycle. Because all three of these things are very closely related. And if you bring two of them into balance, then the third will find its way to balance eventually. Now, before I found breath work, I was caught in a vicious cycle. The physical pain that I was in was constantly triggering automatic negative thinking patterns, and they turned into emotions of sadness and fear. I remember then having anxiety attacks and knowing that I was causing more damage to my body because I'd always end up flared up, which would induce more fear and eventually lead to a panic attack. I could sit and try to practice meditation or affirmations, but as long as the physical pain or anxiety in my body was triggering negative thought patterns, I couldn't breathe. But the more I practice with my breath, the deeper I can go into meditation and the more my nervous system finds its way to balance. And I constantly am surprised with how fast I can bounce back after being faced with a challenge. I can move through it with clarity and grace instead, and it becomes easier to notice my breath and then use my breath to steer myself back to where I need to be. Okay. And this is what I really need you to understand about the mind is that it will always present you with automatic thoughts. This will never change. This comes from sensory inputs internally and externally. Okay, things that trigger our thoughts in some way. Okay, and emotions are only a result of attaching meaning to the thoughts that come into our head. Okay, now this is why practices like meditation are extremely useful because they allow you to slow down enough to catch your thoughts and witness them, and then make a conscious choice on whether or not you want to attach a meaning or not. Now, what's important to know about the body is that it communicates to the mind through the nervous system, which includes the vagus nerve and the limbic system. Okay. Now, the vagus nerve, if you remember, this is a nerve that runs from the bottom of your brainstem down to your stomach and it innervates all of the organs in your body. But it also sends signals to the mind through sensory inputs. Okay, that's why we have the gut feeling, since the vagus nerve innervates the gut and then speaks to the brain, right? And how we can get internal feelings of anxiety that also speak to the brain, which then speak to everything else. Now, the limbic system is really important because this is the part of your brain that imprints trauma and emotions that are associated with the trauma into our nervous system. That way, when we're faced with a similar trauma, we can react and save ourselves without wasting any time. And this is a survival mechanism that's even built into animals. What I want you to realize is that if you have been in a state of imbalance or illness for long enough, your limbic system can become overactive. And that means you will be searching for threats in your environment without even having to think about it. But the limbic system can be steered back into balance with your awareness and love. I know from personal experience. Okay. Now, what I need you to know about the breath is that it is a reflection of the state of your body and mind. And it's going to be automatic unless you're consciously focusing on it. The great thing is, whenever you place your mind on your breath, you're also bringing your mind into your control, which helps to bring everything else into balance. Okay. But by oxygenating the body and doing rhythmic breathing, you send a signal to calm the nervous system and it slows down your heart rate. Right? This is the easiest thing that you can focus on to control this entire cycle. Okay, the breath is the first thing that you can control the easiest. So we're going to talk about how you can do that with 4 different breathing techniques today. I have 2 calming techniques and 2 energizing techniques. Okay, calming and balancing techniques include alternate nostril breathing and the humming bee. These are very safe, very gentle breathing exercises. But we're also going to talk about energizing and detoxifying techniques like the breath of fire and the bellows breath. Now, these are a little bit more advanced, so we have to consider contraindications, like I mentioned in our first class. If you fall under any of these categories, then I just encourage you to approach with caution. That's because these energizing breaths will create a slight increase in blood pressure temporarily, just like exercise does. And it requires more oxygen, just like exercise. So if you are being cautious about exercising, then you should probably be slightly cautious about doing these exercises with me today. Okay. Exercise at your own pace or your own risk. So let's talk about them. Alternate nostril breathing is when you inhale through the right nostril and then exhale through the left, and then you inhale through the left and then exhale through the right. And we do this by using the pinky finger and the thumb. Okay, and you can do this with me right now. Okay, placing your pinky finger over your left nostril, inhale through the right nostril. And then close off the right nostril with the thumb and open the left. And then exhale, left. And then inhale through the left. Switching your fingers, exhale right. Try it again with me. Inhale to the right, closing off the right, and exhale left. And then inhale left, closing the left, exhale right. Okay, try one time on your own without me. All right. How was that? You can do a couple of rounds of this whenever you practice. I like to give you a chance to do it on your own because focusing on someone else's counts is not all that calming sometimes. Okay. But there's a lot of benefits to the alternate nostril breathing. Physically, it balances your brain and the nervous system. And there's a lot of scientific studies that have been done on this type of breathing that show that it improves your cognitive function, anxiety, and stress. Okay. Oh, and now we have the humming bee. Now, this one is pretty straightforward. Basically, you take a deep inhale, and then on a slow exhale, it's a loud, audible hum. And it helps to plug your ears to help keep those vibrations inside of your head and your mind. And the vibrations of your voice actually activate the vagus nerve, which we remember it causes a relaxation response. It increases your heart rate variability as a result, and that increases your resilience and your ability to bounce back from stress. And it lowers your heart rate, your breathing rate, and anxiety. So it's a great exercise to do before sleep. Now I'm going to demonstrate a few rounds with you. I'll just like hum 2 times maybe, just to show you how it's done. But if you're by yourself, wherever you are, then I encourage you to try this with me right now. So you're just going to take your fingers and plug your ears if you can. If you have headphones in, then you can just leave the headphones in. Okay. And then take a nice deep breath in and then exhale and hum. Mm. Nice and long and relaxed. Again, inhale. Mm. Tone doesn't matter. Just go with whatever feels good to you. So if you did that with me, then you feel relaxed right now. Kind of do. I like it. All right, but now we're going to talk about an energizing technique. The first one is the breath of fire. And you may have heard it be called Kabbalavati in other formats. All right. And this is a forceful exhale through the nose. Okay, that is a typo. It's through the nose. And it is just a gentle passive inhale. Okay. And you can do 20 to 30 breaths at a time. And it's actually quite slow, 30 to 60 exhalations in a minute. And I'll demonstrate in a moment. But what I want you to know is that in order to have that passive inhale, you have to allow for the time for that to happen. So we can't really do this too fast. So it looks like this through the nose. And every time I exhale, my stomach actually pulls in slightly. Okay. And then on the passive exhale, the belly just kind of comes out slightly. There's lots of benefits to the breath of fire. Physically, it strengthens the diaphragm, the respiratory muscle, so it improves your breathing efficiency. It brings in energy and forces out toxins, and it improves your core and digestion. Right. And the next one that we have, or the next benefits that we have, are that it creates mental clarity, it improves your focus, and it helps balance your emotions. So this is a really good one to do right before work when you just need to get excited about work or get yourself focused. Don't do it right after you eat though, okay, because it really stimulates your digestion. And so does the bellows breath. So this is the final technique I'm going to share with you before we jump into practice. Now, this is a full inhale through the nose or mouth and a full exhale through the mouth. So it's now it's actually quite faster than the breath of fire. I'm not going to give you a specific pace, but we'll only do 15 to 20 breaths at a time at this pace so you don't get lightheaded. But it's important to start slowly with this one and build up to a faster pace. Some of the benefits of this one is that it brings even more oxygen into the body and the brain, and it forces more toxins out with that forceful exhale. It also stimulates your digestion even more by getting all those muscles moving. And it's going to break through lethargy, brain fog, or a depressed mood. So this is actually my favorite technique of all. And we will be practicing this Bella's breath together right now.
We're going to start out by finding a comfortable seat. Try to place your feet flat on the floor and keep your spine upright. And avoid slouching back in any kind of seat. It might help to sit up on a cushion to lift your hips and keep your low back from rounding. Now place your hands in your lap and close your eyes if it's available to you. Begin with conscious belly breaths, allowing the belly to expand on the inhale and fall on the exhale. Checking in with the body and noticing if there's anywhere that you're holding tension. On the next exhale, allow that part of you to relax. With every breath, allowing your body to sink deeper into the seat. Checking in with the mind, releasing unnecessary thoughts, and getting ready to breathe with rhythm. In a moment, we will move into a 4-count breath. In through the nose, filling up completely, and then exhaling through the mouth with a long, slow 4-count breath. And we'll do that 4 times. Then we'll cut it in half to 2 counts, 4 times through. And then cut it in half again on a single count, 8 times in and out. And finally, a double time Bastrika breath, 16 times. I will count you down twice from 8. After a quick recovery breath, we'll go back into one more quick round, which I will guide you through. No need to remember any of this. Just listen to the sound of my voice. Just know that it is perfectly normal to feel tingling or numbness in your hands or face. That is a good sign that you are moving energy. But if you feel like it's too much, you're always welcome to breathe at your own pace. Now, let's get ready. Bring your attention back to the breath, in through the nose, filling up the belly, and out through the mouth, slow and relaxed. Now do that again. Inhale, and landing in your body with the exhale. One last time on your own before bringing in the rhythm. Bringing the air in through the belly, and let it go. Now getting ready to breathe. In 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Filling yourself up completely on the inhale and relax on the exhale. Bring it in through the nose on the inhale and out through the mouth. Nice and slow. One more time. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. Getting ready for 2-count breaths. It's in, 2, and out, 2. Filling up, and then relaxing the mind. Breaking every breath count in and out. Last time in. Now single counts 8 times. In, out, in, out. Finding a little more effort now. Filling up. 4 more times, increasing energy. 3 and out. 2. Now double time, best streak of breath for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 8 more times. You're doing great. That's it. For 4, 3, 2, big inhale. Now let it go. One more big recovery breath. Let it go. Back to 4 count breath. It's in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3. Good. One more time. Bring it in. 2, 3, 4, and out. Now 8 single counts right here. In, out, in, out. We're almost done. Filling up. Just 4 more times. Stay focused. Out. 3. Make it count. Last 2. Out. Now double time. Bastrika. 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep going. 4, 3, 2. Just 8 more breaths. You're doing great. Keep going. Last 4, 3, 2, and big inhale. Now bring it in. And let it go. Just allow your breath to come to its normal rhythm now. Feeling the sensations of the body. Relaxing the face, the shoulders, the arms, and the mind. Allowing the breath to be slow. Noticing the stillness you've created in your mind. Becoming aware of the darkness behind the eyelids. Just melt into this moment. Creating more space. Allowing yourself to feel held and at peace. Slowing down your breath, allowing all thoughts to release. Feeling your body. Noticing the space around your body. Now placing your attention on your heart center, as if you could breathe into and out of your heart. Noticing the space that you hold there. There is so much depth and power in your heart space. Power which can be harnessed for good. Reminding yourself now that love starts with acceptance and compassion towards ourselves. But I want you to know that the place that the love and forgiveness comes from is so deep within you that you don't have to do anything to receive it. You just have to recognize that it's there. Bringing your attention back to your breath. Breathing deeply into your heart center. Imagining a bright light coming from this space. allowing that light to fill your body with every breath. Feeling the warm energy inside of your body, which doesn't come from anywhere outside of you. Now repeat the following affirmations in your mind. I am an overflowing vessel of love. I meet others where they are and expect nothing in return. I meet myself where I am and release all expectations. Taking another deep breath into and out of your heart. Giving and receiving. And on your next inhale, meet yourself where you are. And on the exhale, release all expectations. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
Thank you guys for going through that with me. Hopefully, you were able to allow your imagination to take you somewhere rather than getting in your own head. And if you did, then don't worry. That's why it's practice. You have another chance to try again tomorrow. I'll share the replay, okay? All right, so I just want to let you know that my information is on the screen. If you have any questions about anything I've shared today or any other week for that matter, then please reach out. I would also love to send you some personal guided meditations. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and take whatever questions you might have.